RM, J-Hope, Jimin, Suga, Jungkook, V. Another guy that I can't remember. BTS. Not only the biggest K-pop group of all time, but also the biggest boy band of all time based on the wiki definition. As a Korean American that was in high school and BTS became popular in America, I can confidently say that I don't get it. Like, the songs are cool, they're tight dancers, they're good looking guys, but compared to other K-pop groups that I'm familiar with, I guess I just don't really see what made them so great, to the point where they're now collectively a household name in every country in the world. But I guess that's what we're gonna find out today. Welcome to the long-awaited BTS rabbit hole video. Ugh. Ugh. Oh god. Ugh, it's uneven. BTS is an extremely common acronym used to mean a bunch of different things. Obviously, there's behind the scenes, which is a pretty common one. We also have burning dongkwon sensation, which is a Konglish term that refers to eating too much spicy food that you essentially poop lava. And of course, the third one is 방탄소년단, which is what the BTS in BTS stands for, and it directly translates to Bulletproof Hand Podium. BTS has 4 singers and 3 rappers for a total of 7 members of the group, which sounds like a lot. And it definitely is a lot, but honestly, their voices are distinct enough, in my opinion, that you don't really mix them up too often. If you want to get a better idea of the roles that members play in idol groups, I highly recommend checking out my video from last week, but I'll do my best to summarize. Jungkook has a pretty standard voice, similar to like a Justin Bieber or Charlie Puth, in the sense that he either has really good vocal control or really good autotune. I feel like of all the members, he's definitely the Swiss Army man, which if you watched last week's video, you know what I'm talking about. Kind of the face of the band, no real specialty, but basically good at everything. He's also the maknae of the group, which is Korean for mom and dad's second favorite son.
Bro, literally shut up, bro.
Jimin has a super breathy, kind of feminine voice. I'd also say he's pretty solid all around, but my brother told me during the recruitment stages he didn't know how to sing at all, and he was like recruited for his dancing, which is just really surprising to me because I actually really like his voice. V has that deep Giveon daddy voice, which I know is definitely a necessary sound for the group, but I just don't really like it. Not that he's not a good singer, he's definitely really good, if not the best one. It's just not my personal preference, to be honest. And he's also the visual of the group, which, just go watch my first video. You know, pause this one, open a new tab, look up my channel, watch my first video, like it, and then come back. And then there's the fourth guy, Michael or something. He's also there. He's the oldest of all 7 hand podiums. He's kind of got a nasally voice. And it's not that he's bad at anything, he just doesn't really stand out compared to the other people in the group. It's giving Kevin Jonas, so he's probably my favorite member of the band. Then of course, the 3 rappers consist of Suga, J-Hope, and Rap Monster. That is just a horrible name, man. Like, I'm so glad that he changed that before they made it big. Can you imagine being globally known as Rap Monster? Really dodged a bullet with that one, Namjoon. Congrats. RM is also supposedly the leader of the group, and I don't really get why. Like, he's cool. The Bridge to Butterfly is a slapper, but I'm pretty sure it's just because he speaks English. I don't know. Wait. Never mind. Apparently he produces and writes a lot of their stuff. It says that all 3 of the rappers have a hand in the production. And by it, I mean the Spotify song credits. You know, you take a look at a band like BTS and you just kind of assume that they're puppets to the label's whim. Sometimes it's not like that, man. Clearly they have some say. But that is pretty cool, so +5 respect points for that. I don't really have much to say about the other 2. Suga has probably the most successful solo career of all of them, and J-Hope is probably the best dancer. I just feel like he has the most flair. In general, I don't think the band has any weak links. I mean, the one guy, Fletcher or whatever, he's kind of basic and he doesn't really stand out that much, but when they're all together, you don't really notice anyone lacking behind. Since their debut, BTS has been signed to Big Hit Entertainment, and after doing some research, I found that they really don't have any other substantial artists, which kind of makes sense. I mean, if I were them, I'd want to put most of my eggs into the BTS basket. They've also been together since 2013, so happy 10-year anniversary, guys. Another +5 respect points for that milestone. I'll be honest, I didn't listen to all of BTS's music, okay? The thing with K-pop and BTS in particular is they release like 10 bajillion mini albums and collections with the same songs on them that it's basically impossible to keep track of. But after doing some extensive research and studying the BTS song catalog from debut to now, I realized that that shit is too much work, so I texted my brother for help. Justin, who is your favorite member of BTS?
Jungkook.
Nice. I like Jin.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, I thought you didn't know his name.
I mean, Who's Jin? What? I meant Cornelius. Duh. If you were advising a new BTS listener, like what one or two songs would you say is like the best one to start listening to?
I feel like if they aren't Korean, then I would probably just give them like Butter or something. If they're like Korean, or if they already have like K-pop, then I would give them like either like Fake Love or like probably like Run and like stuff like that.
Anything else you want to say before I embark in this BTS rabbit hole?
Oh?
The truth is, in middle school and a bit of high school, I had a K-pop phase, man. And while I wasn't a big fan of BTS, I still knew a lot of their songs. Fake Love, it's a slapper, bro. But after pulling out all of the subjectivity that I possibly could from my brain and listening to the songs from debut to now, to be honest, I feel like after this album, whatever it's called, I forget, but I'll put it on the screen. Everything before this album, bangers. Everything after, it's just not as good. Except for Run BTS, that song is a slapper, obviously. And I'm not trying to be one of those guys that's like, oh, they don't make music like they used to. They totally sold out. But they kind of did. Making songs in English to capitalize off of their success in America is a smart move, because that's what ends up giving them radio appeal, you know? As popular as they were, most Americans probably couldn't name any BTS songs up until they made those English ones. And I don't think Butter and Dynamite are inherently bad songs. They're just kind of lacking that oomph, you know? Singing groups also allow for a variety of different voices on each song, so it just opens up a lot more possibilities, in my opinion. You could have a verse like this in the same song as a verse like this, and as long as you're able to smoothly transition between them, you got yourself a banger. And songs like Fake Love or DNA or Dope do just that. They bounce off of each other so seamlessly, like a well-oiled machine. So 10 points for Gryffindor. I mean, look at this. So clean. When it comes to the rapping, I honestly think they have a good balance between Korean style with a more American sounding cadence, which is probably another reason why they in particular were so popular in America. I mean, RM literally sounds like a white dude rapping. Just like any other K-pop idol groups, BTS has a lot of lore to them. This is Jimin. He's shy. And he's a Virgo. And I'll get more into how I think stan culture has affected their success a little later on in the video, but there's definitely no denying that girls like them, at least partially, because they're hot. And they know it too. I mean, look at this choreo. Listen, come in real close. I'm a straight man, all right? I like women. But goddamn. That's actually the case with a lot of boy bands. According to the wiki definition, the whole point of boy groups is to profit off of teenage girls' hormones. Which, like, I guess I'm not really surprised, but as a straight guy that has a designated Jonas Brothers playlist, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel right now. Alright, we're at the BT21 store now. It's time for us to channel our inner army. Right, Justy?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Korean food's getting to me. All the tteokbokki and meat and fried street food is just throwing a rager in my stomach right now. Unfortunately, they didn't let us film inside, but the kid managed to secure the bag. Look, isn't he cute? I'm gonna name you, Carlos. Looking around inside the store, they also had BT21 pencil cases, keychains, stuff that probably would really appeal to their fan base, you know, very Asian bookstore vibes. I still think it's so funny that these cartoons that the members drew up in probably like 30 seconds have become one of the biggest selling points of a chain of stores across not just Korea, but in the US too. I mean, granted, they only have 6 locations, but still, they got a web store. They aren't industry tycoons or anything, but I'm sure the people at Line Friends are eating pretty good. Or at least the heads, the people in sweatshops making these things probably are not eating that good. But we're not going to think about that. So unfortunately, the audio for this entire portion just like pooped itself, like it's gone, which is really annoying because I put a lot of effort into like figuring these shots out or whatever, but I'll just talk about what I'm talking about now. In 2018, BTS was nominated for their first ever American Music Award. And I didn't think it was a big deal when it happened, but I mean, I was 14, you know, what did I know? But obviously it was. This is an award that was previously only won by Justin Bieber, who's like the most white person in the industry. They went on, they had an acceptance speech. It's kind of a big deal, especially since from then on, they just kept making appearances on white people's televisions. All the late night shows and even more award shows, they're just very clearly cementing themselves in American pop culture. And I feel like that really took guts. You know, the first ever American Music Award show they went to, they all had their hair dyed the same shade of like light brown and they all wore suits. Not their usual look, but they probably had to look a little more normal to help with any culture shock, you know? If people were throwing fits over seeing regular looking Asian guys, imagine what they would do if they had rainbow colored hair. And in general, you just don't know what kind of backlash you're gonna see or how people are gonna react with something like that, because it's the first time it's ever happened, you know? So props to them for having the balls to do that. I'm really pissed that this section doesn't have audio, because this was like a funny part where I made like a funny joke saying, oh, it looks like I'm on the toilet right now. But anyways. Growing up completely Americanized with two parents that spoke perfect English, I guess I just never really felt Asian. Like, I know that sounds weird. Like, I never watched shows and thought about the fact that none of them looked like me. You know, it was just never really something that registered in my mind. But it was only recently that I started to realize, I guess, how blindsided I was. Like, growing up, all my friends used to call me Jason Kim. And it literally wasn't until like a year ago that I was like, wait, hold on. You're racist. So I think now more than ever, I appreciate seeing BTS and just like K-pop as a whole do well in America. Because for a long time, my culture was something that I kind of just ignored. But being able to come back here with my family and, you know, experience the culture firsthand, I guess I'm just starting to appreciate it more. Because, I mean, I don't mean to flex, but my heritage is kind of sick, bro. We got fish games. We got KBBQ. We got Gangnam Style. We got K-dramas. We got, you know, you like how girls, you think girls are hot? Our guys look like girls, too. So seeing it represented in American pop culture, too, is just always going to be cool to me. The Bangtan hand podiums wouldn't go on to win any high-profile music awards, but that's okay, you know, baby steps. The social and international awards will have to do for now. I feel like not understanding the hype of BTS is like one of the coldest takes in America, because not to sound too pretentious, but anyone with an untrained eye would think that they're no different than any other K-pop group. First and foremost, BTS is the perfect example of strength in numbers, which is the whole point of a band, right? But when you look at some of the other popular groups that we've seen in the past, whether it's Big Bang or Blackpink, even branching out to One Direction, NSYNC, the Beatles, the Chipettes, there always ends up being some form of a hierarchy or fight for the spotlight. Sometimes it's personal between the members, sometimes it's completely fan or label inflicted. Sometimes it's because Britney's just flat out better than her sisters, alright? They just don't even come close. But when BTS is together, they actually work together. Exhibit A. Look at this, bro. I didn't really feel the need to say anything about their dancing. I mean, obviously they're insanely good, but most of their choreography will have their moves interwoven with each other, quite literally sacrificing their individuality for a greater, bigger picture. And just comparing that to all those other groups that will just do the same dance in a line or like in a circle or whatever, it's crazy. It's actually crazy. Exhibit B. Okay, I don't actually have a second one. They just equally share the spotlight and play off of each other to maximize their potential in their choreography and their music. But anyways, to sum up, I think it's just a combination of how well they work together, how much work they put in, how good they are as individual performers, how catchy their songs can be, and the power of social media, along with all the reasons from my previous video. So, a lot of things. Sorry if you were expecting a concise one-line sentence as the secret to all their success, but there's just too many factors. And I just feel like both the members and their label are firing on all cylinders all the time. So that's honestly what I think it really comes down to. As much as the BTS stans would probably hate to admit it, if it wasn't them, it was probably going to be another group later down the line. But I could pretty confidently say that they're the most impressive of all the groups that I've seen, and they do what they do pretty flawlessly, so yeah, I get the hype. Singing, dancing, abs, kawaii. The evidence is right in front of us, people. You think it's weird that people love BTS so much, huh? You don't really understand the hype? Open your fucking eyes. Dancing, singing, abs, kawaii, Jungkook being a literal daddy. They're just so sexy that people don't know how to act. They literally cater to every single thing that a teenage girl would want. Oh God. God, Carlos, why are you so fat, bro? You guys remember that scene in the first Elvis movie where he starts shaking his hips for the first time and all the girls in the audience explode out of their seats and start throwing their panties on the stage or whatever? I feel like that's kind of the same thing with K-pop stans, you know? BTS and other groups just cater to them so well that they don't know how to react. But unlike Elvis, they can get as much BTS as they want online. In a world where fans are not just willing to watch, but are actually craving to watch hours upon hours of content on their favorite artists, BTS is actually giving them that much content. But yeah, I mean, clearly I know what I'm talking about. Look at this. I don't really have anything else to say, but I feel like I should be spending more time on this thing. I mean, it took me so long to make. Why is there so much Jungkook on this thing, bro? I clearly have a problem. Here's a list of my top 10 songs. These top ones, bangers, absolute smackers. Let me know who your favorite member is in the comments, along with some of your favorite songs. I don't personally feel like I have a favorite member. You know, on one hand, Jungkook is kind of a cheat code, but I do like a good underdog story, so Jamal, he's looking pretty good too. I also made a BTS playlist of some of my favorite songs of theirs. The link to that will be in the description. Definitely go check it out. Like this video, and that's pretty much it. See you guys next week.
Smooth like like butter, like criminal undercover. Spit like